Hi, we're taking a look at the plastic cards for Palm Island. We're having our manufacturer Laya um, produce the plastic cards. They're PVC cards, and this is what the cards look like here. Of course, these are just samples. Um, we I kind of tested them a little bit, but I'm going to show you some of the different materials I like. Kind of just rub them on, which is very different than the of course, when you use them with just other cards, you're not going to be um, seeing quite as much damage as if you use some of these sorts of materials. Um, I've been very satisfied with what kind of happens with the cards. Some people asked about bending, so they are pretty robust as far as it goes. Like they keep their form pretty good. Even with bend, if you do crease them, of course, but it takes actually quite a bit to crease it. Um, Even from there, it will bend back. But I mean, if you do crease it, it will damage the card permanently. I'm making a video for our Kickstarter backers. So you guys got to keep it down, okay? Alright, so you can see it actually does permanently damage the card when you bend it. Um, but I mean, that's the same with paper cards or anything that you're dealing with. So I'm going to kind of rub them on some of these materials and see what we have. Of course, like a skateboard with the grip tape, that's going to scratch anything that you have. And so for the most part, you're not going to survive using sandpaper on your cards. Um, but the brick here, it actually does pretty good with. And I've got some regular cards here that I got some new ones that have not seen anything other than the box that they were in. Um, so I'll kind of show you how that works. If I rub this one on this a little bit, you can already see a little bit. I don't know if it's going to pick it up quite there. If I can get it to focus in. Let's see if I can get it to focus in. I'm not sure if you can see. There is a bit of scuffing here. Definitely some powder came away on it. And there's some lines you see across here. These are not quite the same pattern. Maybe if I use some that have some black on it, it will show us a little bit better. So I do the same sort of thing on here. It does end up getting a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad. But I mean, there are, you know, so yeah, these have scratches and a lot of lines, and this you see a very little bit in comparison. If we were to use like a piece of wood here, I've got like a rough edge on here. Let me take this card and I'm going to rub on it. It's actually not going to damage it as much, of course. So this actually isn't getting any scratches, but you are seeing a little bit of wear in the finish. And I'm going to go ahead and do it as hard as I can on there and see what happens. So again, we're not getting really scratches, but it is kind of bending the card and damaging it there. And we'll do it with this again on black, but I'll do a new card. So here we see there's really no bending, and there's no scratches or anything. This one does have the scratches and the bending, and this one's not nearly as bad. I mean, there's not scratches like the stone had, of course, but of course this isn't as rough as the stone is. If we were to go on the grip tape here, we definitely would see, and you might be able to see here, we got some weird lighting here, I apologize. Some of the scratches here came across there, but that happens with these ones too. Let me grab a new one. That one you can see really well how badly that's scratched. And here you can feel it actually a little bit more than you can see it. And I know that has to do with the pattern, and I'm sorry I don't really have like an apples to apples comparison, but I've been very satisfied with these. Like I said, they're really quite robust. They're a bit thinner, but I mean that's just with plastic cards. They don't need to be so thick to be as rugged. So I've been really satisfied with them. They also have a bit of a, and again I don't think you can see it on here, they have a bit of a texture to them, and that makes it so when you do use the cards, and let me count out 17 of them here. 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. So this would be the size of the Palm Island deck, and so you would be managing it like this as you go through the deck, of course, but we're using it very And this is just playing cards, of course. And they're very easy to hold, and they're also easy to slide in between each other too. So I think it's a very nice mixture. Because when you pay those resources, you have those ones that are like in between. Sometimes they can get hung up on the other cards, and they'll pull them around. Like maybe we can get it to happen with this. So if we have it that these three are stored out here, then this will pull and the card moves up, you know. So you want it to be a little bit slick, but not too slick. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that they feel, and mess around with them a bit. So that's the plastic cards and what they look like. Hope that answers some questions.